Hi, how are you doing? I wanted us to go over some of the vocabulary and the work that we are supposed to complete for the homework. And we were talking about the least common multiple, which is sometimes known as the least common denominator. And the least common multiple or denominator of integers a and b. So you must have two integers a and b. They're usually denoted by LCM of AB is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by both a and b. So find the least common multiple of 34 and 48. So we're going to use either the tree method, stacked, or sometimes it's called as ladder method, and the Venn diagram and the Euclidean method. Let's use the tree method. The tree method, we have 34 and we have 48. Okay, so we look at the prime factors. For 34, it's 2 and 17. That's it. With 48, we have 2 and 24. Then we can divide further to 24 by 2, and then we get 2 and 12. We can do that further. We get 2 and 6, and then we have 2 and 3. So here we only have 2 and 17. So here we have, and 48, we have the factors 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3. So what is the least common multiple, which is going to be 2 to the power of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, times 3 times 17. Why not add these two? This 2 is already taken care of because we have all these 2's there. Using the stacked method. So we have 34 and we have 48. So we have to start with the lowest factor, 2. 2 goes into 34, we get 17 and 24. Again, we can divide further by 2. We can only divide 24, where we get 12. 17 is not divisible by 2, so we still push down our 17. We can still divide 12 by 2, so we get 6. Yeah, we'll get 6 there, but still 17 cannot be divided by 2, so we still bring down 17. Now, we can still divide by 2, so I made a mistake here, and we'll get what? We'll get 3, and then after that we have that 3, and we still have to bring the 17 down, and now we have 3 divided by 3 divided by 3, we get 1, but still 3 cannot divide 17. We bring 17 there, and then now the last factor here is going to be 17, so that it's 1 there and then just a 1 there. I like to have 1s at the end, and so I come here and look at my factors. I have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 to the power of 4, and then I have a 3, there, and I have a 17. So this is the least common multiple, or the least common divisor for these two numbers. Let's see Venn diagram. Okay, and now what we're looking with the Venn diagram is we are looking for those elements, the list that is a multiple of what? 34 and 48. So here you want to work out the multiples of 34. 1 times 34 is 34. 2 times 34 is 68. 3 times 34 is 102. 4 times 34, 136. And you do the same with 48 times 1, 48 times 2, 48 times 3, 48 times 3, times 4, times 5. And you are looking for the number, the moment where you're going to get a multiple of these two where you get the same number on the left hand side and the same an integer on the right hand side, and eventually you're going to have it's 24 times what 34, you get 8, 16, and 17 times 48 is what you get that 8, 16. So 816 is the least common multiple. When we look at the when we have 2 the power of 4 times what? Times 3 times, is it 17? In the previous one, what do we get? So this is 16, yeah? 2 times 2, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4 times, that's 16. So it's going to be 16 times 3 times 17. 16 times 3 is 48, isn't it? Because that's 8, carry 1. 3 times 6 is 8, carry 1. And then regroup. And 3 times 10 is 30, is what? It's 30 plus 10, which is 40. So it's 48 times 17, which is the same as that. So, yes, the LCM, the least common multiple, is 816. Okay. Use the LCM, find the LCM of 34 and the and 48 using the Euclidean method. Now the Euclidean method, if you remember very well, you divide the larger integer by the smaller one all the way through until you get 0. So the larger integer is 48. You divide it by 34. When you divide that, 48 by 34, it goes 1 time 34. You subtract, you get 14. Now you have 14 and 34. So divide what? 34 by 14. You get 2. That's 28. 28 minus, 34 minus 28. You get 6. Now you have 6 now and 14. So 14 is greater than 6. So you're going to divide 14 by 6. You get 2. You get 12. Subtract 12 from 14. You get 2. Okay, now you have 2 and 6. Which is greater? 6 is greater. So you're going to divide 6 by 2. You get 3 and you get 6 and 0. So 2 is the greatest common factor. Now GCF equals to 2. What do we know about greatest common factor and the LCM? So we know that GCF times LCM equals that particular integer. It equals the multiple of those integers, so multiples here. Now, those integers that we have are 34 and 48. We know what the GCF is, it's 2. We don't know what the LCM, so we want to find that LCM. So the LCM is going to be 34 times 48 divided by 2, because if we know that 2 times LCM equals 34, so we divide both sides by 2, and so we have to divide 34 by 48 by 2. Okay, is that clear? So we end up again with what? 17 times 48. So whichever way you do it is going to come to 38. So let's continue the other question on the homework. It was looking for the GCF and LCM of these two numbers, 675 and 1030. And then how many factors does each number have? Okay, first of all, let's look for the GCF and the LCM. I kind of like the stacked method for whatever reason. So I like the stacked method, and so we have 675 and 1030. Now we have to begin with the lowest factor, which is 2. So 2 does not divide 67, does not go into 675. We can see because of that 5, but it goes into 10, 35, 30, and we get 515. So we bring our 675 down, and now this one becomes 515. 3 is the next factor, and 3 goes into 675, and you get 225, because 6 divided by 3 is 2. You have 7 divided by 3 is 2, carry 1, and then 15, which is 5. 3 does not go into 515. It's not a multiple. It's not a factor in 515. Again, we have a 3. It goes to 75. We still bring that down, 515 down, because 3 is not a factor. Again, we have a 3. 75 divided by 3 is 25. Again, our 3 is not a factor in 515. We have 5. Goes 5 times in 25. It goes 103 times in 515. And then one more time we have 5 goes 1 here into 5 and 5 goes 1, and it doesn't divide into, or it's not a factor of 103, so we bring down 103. Then 103 here, get 1, we get 1. Now our LCM is going to be 2, 1, 2, 3, 3 to the power of 3, 1 to 5 to the power of 2, and 1 or 3. And you can check this. So we want to check what is the greatest common factor. I think the tree method is a little bit faster for me. Again, we have multiple methods. You can use any method. And so I'm looking for the factors in 675. I start, because 2 cannot go, I go to the next one, which is 3, and it's 3 times 225 is 675, and then we have 3 times 75, and then 3 times 25, and then 5 times 5. So that's it. And then with 1030, I have 2 times 515, and then 5 times 103. So I have my factors are 2, 5, and 103. These factors here for 675 have 3 to the power of 3 and 5. And so what is the common factor between these two? The greatest common factor, you find it is 5. And the other question is, how many factors does each have? This one, 103 if you count 1, and 130, so 1030. If you count that, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, has 6. This one, if you count 1 and 675, you have, those are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. The other question was asking you, suppose that you had a mosaic of 70 inches by 40 inches wide. What is the largest square tile that could be used? And the hint is use prime factorization. So here we have 70 and we have 14, and so we look for the prime factors. So 70, 2 times 4, 35, can, is to 35 a multiple? Yes, we can multiply 5 and 7, and those are the prime factors of 70. What about 40? We can have 2 and 20, then 2 and 10, and then 2 and 5. We got the bottom. So what is the greatest common factor for these two, for 70 and 40? You find it's 2 and 5, 2 and 5, meaning you can only cut a 10 by 10 square inch mosaic. Now here we have a very interesting question. The age of the youngest of three sisters is 6 years less than twice the age of the middle sister. Let me change this color so that it's not the same. So the oldest sister is 11 years older than twice the age of the youngest sister. If the sum of their ages is 28, what are the least possible ages of the sisters? So we know that we have 3 sisters, and they start off by telling us the age of the youngest of 3 sisters is 6 years less than twice the age of the middle sister. The oldest sister is 11 years older than twice the age of the youngest sister. Okay, so we need to find out what are the possible ages.